Hello, Joe. Welcome to another week.
Hello, yes, welcome. It's freezing here. Look at me.
Oh.
I'm in a big jumper.
Welcome to the climate cool. We're having it here, and you know what, Joe? My ducted
What?
heating doesn't work.
Oh no, it would be an
Yeah,
ice box.
it's an ice box. So last week we spoke about having an open fire. I might just have an open fire in the living room. So it's going to take another week to get a new ducted heater. It's like yes. So
Oh
it's all
no.
good. We're surviving. Look, it's what you make it. Blankets are good, and we haven't even got little other heaters. Melbourne's put on some good weather this week, 21 degrees, but next week it starts to rain. But another story. It's all good.
Yes, you might have to go and buy those little fan heaters from the reject shop.
Yeah, correct, correct. Keep warm. Gotta love it.
Yes,
So,
yes,
what are we
yes.
talking about this week, my love?
Well, this was one of your suggestions. This
It
is talking
was.
about why people are leaving social media.
Yes, yes. Have you heard
Yes.
this? Have you heard much about this at all, Joe?
I did hear, when I've gone on like little webinars, people are saying to move off Facebook as your main social media thing, and Instagram seems to be more of there's like millions of people on Instagram. So I'm not an Instagram kind of girl, but I have to learn to become one. Yes.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's interesting that a lot of people I find are engaging. Like I've got Facebook, I've got Instagram, and for the business we have like YouTube, like we have, and
Yeah.
I also use TikTok. Out of all of them, for me, the quickest one to grow is TikTok.
Yes.
Instagram and Facebook are full of ads, and it's really
Yes.
frustrating. And I think that's what's causing a lot of people to leave. That you're scrolling through your Facebook looking for what your friends might be doing, looking for what adventures they might be having or what's happening in their world, but all you're getting now is just ads. And
Yes.
it's just
Yes.
like, yeah. So I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook and Instagram I do, but again, it's still ads, ads, ads. So it's interesting how the world's changing. It was great that we all jumped onto it when it started, but now people
Yes.
seem to be taking a back step.
Well, I've got thousands of friends and I don't see any of their feeds.
That's the thing now. You don't. It's
Yeah.
all, let me sell you something, let me sell you something, and if you Google anything, of course, that always comes up in your feed.
Yes.
So it's really interesting that you're being tracked, but the things you want to go and see on these social media platforms now,
Yes.
it's not doing it. It's not coming to the party anymore. Even YouTube, Joe, I don't know about you, but we subscribe to YouTube. But it keeps showing me the videos I've already watched now. It's not even
Mm.
showing me new things that I could consider, things that are in my interest range. Do you know what I mean? So even
Yes.
Sean and I with YouTube are thinking, what do we do with that now? Do we slow it down? Do we, not bother with it? What is it?
Yeah. I think also people are evolving more. And I think people have really got the concept now that, like it's just false. Everything's an illusion on there. It's not real.
I think you're right. I think people are seeing through the crap. And I think
Yes.
what people are being, and people's nervous systems are really struggling at the moment because they're doing this doom scrolling, but there's nothing worth seeing there. And I think
No.
that's why there is there's change coming. So have you heard there's a thing in Europe and it's spreading around the world and it hasn't yet come to Australia. Have you heard of the offline club?
Yeah, you've talked about that before. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a wait list for that coming here to Australia, but it's great because everybody puts the devices down and they go and play jigsaws together. They go and sit in these
Yes.
amazing spaces and they'll read books or they'll play games and board games. And it's like, wow, the younger generation, because it's all being driven by the younger people, the younger
Yes.
generation are looking at, okay, how do we do this now in a
Yes.
more connected way? Because people think that social media is bringing them connectedness. And look, it brings us together like this, Joe, but it's not bringing us together in a physical form. Okay, we're
No.
still insular. I'm still here in Melbourne and you're still in New South Wales. So
Yeah,
we're not
yeah.
coming together in that physical aspect. And I think
No.
that's what people are starting to realize they need more of that connection. They want more of that interaction. And it's not just two-dimensional.
Mm. The other thing I think that's coming into play is you kind of don't even know when you're actually looking at an ad. Is that an AI person or is it a real person?
And that's the key. That's exactly right. So people are being more discerning now. And I think the AIs are really, it's really interesting because it's coming to try and help the world. But what it's actually doing is for a lot of people, it's like it's just making them unplug because it's like I
Yeah.
don't know what's real, so I'm just not going to bother with it. So
Yeah.
very interesting concepts that AI, and you can sometimes see it because the voice doesn't match the face. Have you ever
Yes.
seen that? Have you ever noticed that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Or the other day I saw the same voice, but two different people doing the same ad.
Same voice, and
Yeah.
two, it's like what's happening here? And these were, I'm going to be honest with you, these were people offering financial advice and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and it was AI. And it's
Mm.
like, I think this is a part of the problem that people are not seeing what they want to see. They're being targeted with other ads that, if they search for something, and then they're not understanding what's real now and what's not real. So they're not getting anything that, they want to get. So
No.
I think a lot of people are starting to look at social media as it was great for its time, but now I've got to do something different.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think that there's oh, lots of people like I watch, how do you know they're a naturopath, for example? How do where there's girls on there going, I've made $600,000 and this is the funnel thing I do. And you kind of go, but how do you know? And then one of the girls, when I thought, really? And then she didn't even have a website. So I kind of go, well, they're just trying to sell you a $27 something. You know what I'm saying? So I think
I
it's
hear
the
you.
whole,
I
mm,
hear you. It's such a farce. And that's what you've got to see it with now. What are they trying to do? And a lot of it's just a cash grab. Buy this,
mm.
buy that, do this book. This book is out. I don't know how many times I've seen this one book about how to live your life without being dependent on anybody else. It's like a survivor's guide. Do you know what I mean? It's
Oh,
the
yes, yes.
last ones. It's out of print. You're gonna want to have it. The world's gonna collapse, and it's like, gee, for the last 8 months, it's been out of print, but yet they're still selling it. And I,
Yes.
I often look at on socials. This shop is closing down. It's like never heard of it. All of these things that are just not real, just for a grab for cash. So I think a lot
Yeah.
of people are getting tired of it and mundane. I got to tell you, Joe, I did do something. I watched a man on YouTube last week, and one of my drains is being slow to drain. It's like, oh no. So I went and bought this. I've got baking soda to cook with, but there's a thing called laundry soda, and I didn't know about it. So he goes, go and buy laundry soda, go and buy baking soda. So I bought both of those, and then go and buy some salt, and I had salt. And he goes, now pour the powder down the drain, and then just pour hot water down it. It's like, oh, okay, I've done that before, and I usually just use baking soda, and I fizz it. Oh my God, Joe, I thought I had to call a plumber because it turned into a rock. This washing soda, baking soda, and salt with the hot water, it went hard. And I thought, oh my God, I blocked the drain. So I went and got this big long metal skewer and I'm stabbing it. And then I thought, okay, you're a smart man, Charles, get smart about it. This is chemistry. What do we need? Get the vinegar. Got the vinegar. And I had a 2 liter bottle of vinegar. And I think I poured 1.5 liters down the drain and it fizzed it all up and it broke it all down. And then the drain just went bloop. And it's just
Yeah.
like, okay, I've got to be more discerning about what I watch and who I listen to because different products, different countries don't always work the same way. And I said to Sean,
Yes.
because Sean was out, I said to Sean when he got home, I was like, I nearly had to call a plumber because I thought I killed our drain. So
Yes.
it's interesting. You've got to be really discerning. You've got to be really mindful. And I think people are
Yes.
pulling out for that reason.
And the other thing also is that you've got to be also careful. This is the social media. It's a bit deviating off, but be careful if you're two things. If you're a social media person and you're relying on whatever you're doing just through social media, you really need to start to hone in on collecting emails that you own. Because if these all crash or people are leaving in masses, your audience is going to dwindle and therefore your sales or whatever you're promoting is going. So it's like you've got to always rely on you got to promote them. For example, for me, promote a meditation to again for then people to put their email so then I can send it to them.
Yes.
And the other thing is that if you are going to send any letters or emails to people, you can use AI, but it takes that personal. So if I get an email now and it just looks like it's mass generated with words that I know this person normally doesn't use, delete, and then I unsubscribe because I think they're not even doing it anymore.
Correct. Correct.
Mm.
And I refuse to use AI in anything that I send. So I send a newsletter once or twice a year. I'm not very proactive with that aspect, but I send it. But it's all me. It's all, me. There's no
Yes.
AI. It's pictures taken by me or words
Mm.
or videos, whatever. Because It uses so much water. This is what people don't realize. They
Yes.
play with AI and do stupid caricatures, stupid little videos of crap, but
Yes.
reservoirs of water are being drained because you're playing with stupidity. So when you run out of water, people, and you've been playing with AI, good luck
Mm.
to you. Good
Do you
luck to
know
you.
what? Eli told me that. Eli's like, Mum, stop using it. Because what was I was doing a letter and Eli's like, stop using it. But all the glaciers are drying up because of you Gen
Yes,
Xers using it for stupid things. He was the same.
it's
So I
true.
was like, what are you talking about? Then
Every little picture
yes,
shows like a bottle of water. And that's 600
yes,
mils. It's nearly a liter of water. Now, if a million people do that, we're in
yeah.
trouble.
We are very much so. So yeah, so Eli, I'm really glad that Eli's teachers at his school are really pushing about not doing it. So that's fantastic. But yeah, it's just like I think we're really doing a full circle about being authentic, you know?
I agree.
So,
I agree. And I
you
think,
know,
Joe, the younger generation like Eli and Lexi are going to force the change. And that's what
yeah.
happens with generations. The younger people come out and they see it with different eyes. And they
Mm,
hold up a mirror and a red flag. And it's like, come on, people, look at what you're actually doing. Look at what you're creating.
yes.
And it's not positive. And then from that, you and I will then go, oh, hold on a minute. We've got to take a step back from this thing.
Yeah.
So it's a case of, yeah, it's very interesting that the younger people see the effects very quickly and then
Mm,
get on that bandwagon. Not got to change it, got to do it differently. And there's look, Chat GPT. There are things now, people are coming off Chat GP. I can't even say it. Chat GPT in droves
yes.
because it's no longer relevant for what people want to use it for.
Yeah, and you know the other thing that I find really, the other week I had a lady. Now she's a little neurodiverse, but
Hmm.
she rang Ellie and she said, "I don't want my appointment with Joe. I just put all my problems into Chat GPT, and she's gave me good advice, right?" So I said to Elliot, "Yeah, but she and this lady's a little bit narcissistic through trauma." And I go, "But she just puts the narrative in that she needs
And
to
that's the
for."
key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's also a problem because of these reasons, because then you just put in to it's like talking to your best friend that won't tell you pull your head in, you're being a goose.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
As they
So
say,
that's
Joe, with programming, put rubbish in, get rubbish out.
yes, correct.
Okay. If you want to put in what you want to know, like if you don't put everything in, you're not going to get the full story. Okay.
No.
And that's where people that will play with ChatGPT to fix my problems, it's like, good luck with that. But if you're not giving it 100% of the information, you're only going to
Yeah,
get crap coming out of it. You're not going to get anything
correct.
that's worthwhile. And that's where
Yes.
consciousness, human consciousness, is better because human consciousness can then say, but you're not looking great. You're talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk. What's going on?
Mm.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense? And I think that's what the younger generation are working out that we can't do this. We can't be these people that are using these silly little apps and things like that because what it's actually doing is just disconnecting us even more and more and
Yeah.
more. So that's why the offline club is great. That's why I think you had
Yes.
an app, Joe, or you use a timer, don't you, to limit
Yeah, I
your
used
time on
to.
socials.
Yes, because it's just it's not. You know, I'm really action focused and driven by my goals and what I want to achieve. So often, a few times a day, I've gone, what have I done to make my life better? And it doesn't necessarily mean need to be about my business, but it just needs to be, like, have I drank enough water today? Am I eating well? Am I prepping my food? Like, have I cleaned this? Just stuff, not just wasting my time on. I don't want to get to heaven and then when they do a summary of my life, they go, "Well, Joe Plater, you've wasted, 7,000 hours looking at other people's lives or comparing
Yeah.
yourself on social media."
Or
No, I don't want that.
other people's artificial intelligence
Yes.
media. It's not even real. No, I hear you, and that's good. That's why I like stuff like minimalist because the phone uses color. I mean, I love color, don't get me wrong, but the phone uses color to hit your dopamine levels.
Mm.
And that's why with the minimalist app, it makes your phone black and white. So you're not getting the hits from it. So people are spending less
Ah,
time on their phones now. And they're using things like device locks and stuff like that so that they can't come to their phone because it's
mm.
become problematic. Social media and the use of telephones is really problematic for this generation now. It sucks, and
Yeah.
you got to understand, guys. It sucks the life out of you. It takes your energy.
Yes. Yeah. Nothing, not much good comes from it. And
Mm.
even like, it's interesting. The last 3 weeks I've been invited and to people my age, to games night. And I was like, what are we playing? Like, so because I went, I'm not really into, I don't know, all those funny little card games that,
Yeah.
because I went, what's the one that starts with M? Anyway, I was like,
Mahjong?
I think
Is it mahjong or
Mahjong. Yeah. Yes, Mahjong. So I was like, I don't know how to play that. So I don't want to be a punished hero and going, oh, I don't know how to play,
yeah,
Um, but yeah, and then yeah, so I'm really keen about, and then it was like bring a plate and we're all and yeah, I went to one and I love it. So yeah, so I think it's like, we do need to connect. We're humans that need a lot of connection, and when we've really gone off track with no connection,
yeah, yeah,
it was interesting. The other week, Eli hurt his shoulder, and we were in emergency. And just, I was sitting there, and I shouldn't have been a busybody looking at people's auras and figuring out things. But all the people that had mental health issues that were there, I would say 80% of them were just lonely. Like they were just lonely, looking for attention.
yeah,
Out of all of them, there was probably two that really did need
yeah.
really big help. But I was like, oh, how sad. Like, there was a couple of old girls there that, you know, just needed their wounds dressing, but they were really just there to talk to people. Like, and you
Yeah.
think, oh, how sad that they have to go to an emergency to receive attention.
Exactly. But this is what social media creates. You think you're connected with people, but unless you're actually physically in touch with them,
Yes.
it's problematic. It's look, I get it from if you're living on the other side of the world, that's great because you've got a time zone difference. It's not possible, it's not feasible. But for people that live in your, city, go and see them because I agree with you
Yes.
100%. A lot of older people are feeling more and more isolated, so they will go and visit the doctor as an outing. It
Mm.
becomes a social outing for them.
Yeah.
So that's problematic, and that's where, as a community, we need to coming back to people. And who do we need to go and visit? Who do we need to, connect with? But it's also on that person as well to push themselves out of that comfort zone of staying at home,
Yes.
so that they can go and join a group or a club or go to a social, a local, we have like the Maltese club, the Italian clubs, and all of those different things. But there's
Yeah.
also book reading at the library. They do book readings and stuff like that. Push yourself
Yeah.
out of your comfort zone, get off your social medias, and then come back to living with people, coming back to connectedness.
Yes. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely.
I like the way the
Yeah.
world's changing, Joe. I think it's worthwhile. I think it's been great. Technology came, but now we're actually seeing the downside of the technology,
Mm.
and people are what's the word I'm looking for? People are acting in a way that it's not in their highest good anymore.
No, I think on a proud level we're evolving and
Yeah,
we're seeing through the BS.
yeah,
Um, we're going back to basics,
yeah. And
Yeah.
how many times have you heard when you were growing up, your parents would say, "Oh, it was so much easier many years ago. It was so much better. Life was so much easier." And now I'm at my 50s, it's like, "Oh my God, life was so much easier when I was 15 and 16 or in my 20s because I didn't
Yeah.
have any of this distraction. I didn't have any of this noise or interference." Do you know what I mean?
Well, life was simple. If I, back before phones, I would have said to you, Charles, I'll meet you on Thursday night at 6 o'clock. And you'd go, yeah, I'll be there. There was
Yeah.
no 47 texts about, yeah, are you
Yeah.
there? Where are you?
Yeah.
Just confirming this afternoon. We'll just turn up and hang out.
Correct. And
And we
that's
and we knew about 20 phone numbers in our head.
correct. Or you carried, I
Yes.
used to have like a little teledex, this like a little book, and it's like you'd put all your numbers in. It's like, yep, great, done. But you knew them. You knew all of you memorized your numbers, and the world is
Yeah.
now different. And that's what people are now realizing, I think. And I saw that today in an article. It's like people realize that all of these things that they're using on with AI and social media, it's dumbing them down because you're not thinking.
Yes.
Even Google Maps.
Yes.
If you can't look at landmarks and know where you are when you're driving and you've lost your sense of direction, you're in trouble because Google
Yes.
Maps just takes over and it just tells you this way, this way, this way, and you're not actually thinking. And this
Yes.
is what the world's losing, its ability to think for itself. So there's going to
Yes.
be a lot of people that will become, I don't want to say like drones or zombies and stuff like that, but if you keep going this way and you're not thinking for yourself and you're listening to what this social media or the things are telling you, you're not going to
Mm.
be able to think.
No.
You won't be able to
Even
make
like
decisions for yourself.
Yeah, even adding up now, I try and if it's not too many things,
Yeah,
to do some long division and some adding up because it's too easy to get your phone. Like,
yeah,
you know, And even like, where were we somewhere? And I went, just use your timetables. And they're like, oh, I don't know how to do that. And I was like, what? Like,
Yeah.
so, mm,
It's interesting, Joe,
see,
because in my old job, I used to have to work out percentage discounts. And
oh
when I
yeah,
was doing live sales, I say it's 25% off, and I'd go, yeah, it's bang. This is how much it is. And the girl that I was working with, she was a lot younger than me. She goes, how do you do it so quickly? It's because we were trained when we were younger
yeah,
at school that you did all your times tables, you did all your divisions, and you did all your percentages, and you could work it out very quickly. And
mm.
bang, that was your discount. So it's interesting how the world's different now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know the statistics on this, but I did cross my mind the other day. I thought, well, are we getting more dementia because we're not using our brains as much and it's just turning off,
Yeah,
you
possibly.
know? Yeah, I don't know what the statistics on that would be, but because maybe that people older than us really haven't used their phone as much as what we do,
Yeah,
perhaps.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but then at the same time, they're probably less social because due to us generation being too busy to hang out with them, if that makes sense. So,
Exactly. Too busy, but busy on this, not
yeah,
this. Do you know what I mean? It's interesting. So
yeah,
people make time. Come off your socials. Even if you
yes,
limit your time, like Joe, put a timer on, or you know what, even turn your phone off for a while. You don't need to be contactable
yeah,
24/7,
no,
365. You seriously don't. So, and one thing I will say to you, don't put your phone by your bed at night. Put it in a different room so that it can't
mm,
distract you, can't interrupt your sleep, and then you're not
yeah,
tempted in the middle of the night to go and pick it up. All right? Get
and
smart with
and
it.
yeah, even like my during my day, I turn off all my apps
Yeah.
because I don't want that little noise happening at all ever.
Well, see,
Because
oh, I've turned off all my notifications. I don't get
yeah,
notified of
that's what I meant.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
same, Joe. Great. I don't get notified. So then, if I get 10 minutes and it's like, oh, I'm on a break, I will then quickly check my phone. That's it. Put it away again. Done. I don't need it.
yeah,
Not a lot.
yeah.
Not a
And you
lot.
know what? Even next time I go on holidays, I'm a big one for taking pictures all the time. And I thought to myself the other day, I thought I'm gonna next time I go on a big holiday, I'm gonna say I'm just gonna take 3 photos, and then I'm gonna be really in the moment present with it.
Yeah,
Because like when we went to Europe, I thought I've not looked at them once.
that's the key. And you don't. You don't. So that's fine. Joe, we've got to wrap it up. We're running out of time. So,
Oh
guys,
gosh, okay.
that's fine. We're having a great chat. Guys,
Yes.
don't forget to like, subscribe, and share and hit that bell notification so that you're always aware when we upload a new video. Usually every Thursday or Friday, every week we'll get one coming up. So yeah, so let us know in the comments what social media platforms you use and let us know if you're addicted to them. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes.
So it's
Always
been a
lovely to
pleasure.
chat. Lovely Charles.
Likewise, my love. All right, we'll see you next week, guys. Have a great week.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.